feeling first of all? We know you're pretty good last week.
Yeah, doing way better, man. Definitely came a long way from last week. Feeling way better, ready to go.
Obviously, a tough result over in Melbourne. What's the team learned out of that loss to the Phoenix?
Yeah, definitely a tough result. A couple guys out. Just come back to the drawing board. Come back, do what we do every day, and just grind our way.
How are you feeling going up against the Bulls on the table? Do you think you've got enough to get it right?
Yeah, definitely. Next man up mentality always. I think we're going to have enough for sure. Just come out there, do what we got to do, execute our game plan. I think we'll give them a good shot.
It's a pretty close clash last time. Do you think you can extend the lead a little bit more?
Really not worried about the score of the game. Really just come in, do our jobs, and see how the game goes. I think if we come in, everybody do their jobs, we'll get the result.
What makes them such a good team? Do you think they're obviously flying in this season, the Hawks?
Just their pace, I think. They're well coached, I think. All play together. Everybody likes each other in that locker room. Very good group. So I think it's easy to play with guys if you all like each other.
And if you were all seasons going personally, mate, if you get the opportunity, I guess, do you feel like you're prepped with both hands?
Yeah, 100%, man. Always stay ready for my opportunity, whether I'm playing or not. So definitely ready to grab this opportunity.
Obviously, Sam Fromm, you're going against tomorrow night, obviously one of the best players in the competition. How do you sort of feel his influence on the game?
Yeah, he's a great player, man. Definitely excited to go up against him. So just ready to battle.
You got a good turnaround to Saturday night back in Melbourne, so another big test coming up over 2 days or 3 days.
Yeah, definitely going to be a quick turnaround for that. We had a good hit out last time in Melbourne. Just really not focused about Melbourne right now. Focus about tomorrow, recovery tonight, and then just worry about Saturday when it gets here.
What do you think the team needs to do to secure a spot in the finals?
I think just keep attacking every day with a purpose. I think just come in, do our daily habits, have fun, enjoy the group, and then just control. Really can't control anything else besides that.
Running out there today. How's he looking?
Joe's looking good, man. Definitely looking forward to having him back out there with us.
All right. First question. Someone took out there. Just have a sort of shoot around. How's he looking? Is he a chance tomorrow night?
I think he's a chance, but I think it'll be more like how he pulls up tomorrow after shoot around. He went yesterday, so he's had 2 days in a row. But I still think with back-to-back games, there's still going to be, which one do we play him in and how does that play out? So I think it'll be a game-time decision.
Yeah, okay. So, you want to be careful, basically. You can play in one of these games and just stick with what you're wrong.
Yeah, well, he hasn't had a lot of training under his belt, so we've obviously got to be mindful of that as well. We don't want to put him in a position where he's just not ready to play in 2 really, really big games for our club.
Is now the time to risk him if you are, though, I guess, given what's on the line at the moment?
I wouldn't say it's about risk. It's probably more like, can he actually function? Can he move the way he needs to move in a couple of games? You're going to be very, very high level. So it's more that than the risk of if he re-injures.
Has all the recovery gone to plan so far, like as you hoped it would?
Yeah, I think originally, and I stand corrected. Originally, I think it was the Cairns game that Ryan Carroll had flagged. So he might be a little bit ahead of time. He might be just thereabouts. So not too far off.
Limited minutes if he does play, then you think, or
I think if he's healthy, he's healthy. Yeah, I think that would be fair to say.
Hawks, a massive challenge. Obviously, one of the best team in the comp at the moment, as far as the ladder goes. How do you beat them?
They're difficult. They're playing really good basketball, there's no doubt. I think we've probably over the last couple of games, we've had the South East Melbourne game where we played some really good basketball up to about 2 minutes to go in the third quarter, and the last time we played at Illawarra, we had a really good brand. So I think it's the same for us. We have our style, which is very ingrained in us. We just got to do it for a little bit longer, and just really hang in there to that last 2 or 3 minutes where we know we've got players that can make plays in that stage of the game. We've just got to get to that point where it's still on the line. Obviously, their transition is very, very good, and their 3-ball is a key part of their game. So, obviously, doing a good job in that space. Tyler Harvey is obviously having an outstanding season. Trey Curl, Froling, they've got good depth. So, we have to be on point in all areas.
It was a tight clash last time. I guess what works well for you? What will you be doing again?
I think what we've done a really good job last time was we didn't foul a lot. We've had some issues with some fouling. We did a pretty good job there until right towards the end of the game. And offensively, the ball really moved for us. We got a lot of good open looks, and we've built some confidence off our offense that kept us in the game right towards the end. So it probably doesn't change too much for us. When we're really good offensively, the ball's moving, everybody's getting a touch, and we have a good scoring spread. And then defensively, we've done a really good job over the whole course of the year of guarding the 3 ball really well. And this game's going to be a test for it because they're an elite 3-point shooting team.
Are you looking ahead at finals, or are you just taking one match at a time?
Yeah, no, we are definitely one match at a time. Obviously, we had some challenges over the last month, and we can't look at it. We've got Illawarra in our home court, back with our home fans. Really important that we come out and we attack this game in the right manner.
I think Shorty's completely done for the year, but is Will any chance if you get to that playing game?
I'm not. To be honest, I'm not really sure because it was such a significant injury from that broken bone in his foot. It's got to be a wait and see. Obviously, the fever break helps us if we get to that point, but really we've got to take care of it tomorrow first before we look any further ahead than that.
Yeah, so another tough one Saturday night. So it's a season-defining weekend, isn't it? You lose both of these, it's pretty much good.
Yeah, absolutely. It's as you said earlier, it's the pointy end of the season. It's really sharp, and we've got no room to move, and we've got to put our best foot forward. And I know the guys, they're up for it. It's been a challenging time, but we've got to find out what we're really made of in terms of, and Scott spoke about this, how we carry ourselves, what our manner on the floor is like, what our bench is like. Those things are important to us, and we've got to make sure those things are on point, and the basketball can take care of itself.
Clem said last week it was good because the destiny was in your own hands where you sat on the ladder. Now you've dropped out of that 6, you sort of have to rely on Adelaide a bit now and there, wins and losses as well. Is that frustrating, I guess, that you've let that slip?
Obviously frustrating when you don't win games, and those opportunities were there, but I think we've done a good job through this period of moving on to the next game. We've obviously reviewed, as all teams do, and we're trying to improve and get better in areas still. But just the game that's right in front of you is what you've got to focus on.
I guess the positive out of the injuries is Nick Stoddard had another great game against the Phoenix. Just talk to us about him.
Yeah, he's just made it really, not a quick jump. You could see it gradually coming, but then with the opportunity, I think it was the Adelaide game where he started and built some confidence, and then obviously at the weekend he's out there again doing his thing and playing a little bit free, and with his opportunities he's really grabbed it. So I know Jared Weeks has spent a lot of time with him, and shout out to Weeksy for doing great work with him, as Jack Fleming did with Sean McDonald. When he was working a lot with the DPs, Weeksy's done an outstanding job with him and the DPs, and Stoddy's got his opportunity and he's grabbed it.
Obviously, you have to be a fully rostered player wherever he is next year. Is there room for him here, do you think, to stay at the Jack Jumpers?
I think simple question, everyone's got to be evaluated at the end of the season, and he's done everything that he possibly could to give himself an opportunity, and where that lies at the end, we'll wait and see.
And just to comment on the South East game, obviously not the loss you like, being how heavy it was, but as you say, easy to move on as a group, is it usually to the next game?
It's definitely not easy to move on. We were right in that game, and we felt like we had a really good game plan and had done a really good job on some key players, and then we just couldn't sustain it, and that was the disappointing thing. And it still hurts. There's no doubt about that, and hopefully that part of it could be, some fuel for our fire for tomorrow night.
So I'll ask you about the reunion coming up too. A competition that means a lot to you, I'm assuming. How are you actually able to go? Or?
It's probably difficult to go. We've got the Cairns game's going to be the next night. Shoot around the next morning. I'm not sure I want to travel the highway at 12 at night.
What about it though as a concept? It must be really exciting for you to see this come together, I suppose, in honour of the past. It was a great competition.
Absolutely. 50 years of any competition is it's special, and to be a regional competition with so much history and produce so many good players, I think Rebecca Triffett has done an outstanding job of driving this concept and the dinner, and to go back and I was involved in some of the selection process, and it was so difficult, and some of the great players that have come out of the Northwest in terms of Aussies, and then some of the imports that we've had in that have gone from being NWBU players to being Olympians to being multiple MVPs and championship winners in the NBL. I think just speaks volume for the rich history of the Northwest Coast.
What makes it such a special competition? Probably fair to say it's the best club competition in the state, wouldn't you say? And why is it so special?
I think I think geographically it really lends to competition. We've got 8 small towns, and unless you're playing for the Northwest, you're playing for your town, and it's very competitive. And it's probably even in that early part of the competition up to the late 90s, like it was very, very territorial. Like if you played for Burnie, you hated Ulverston. If you played for Devonport, you hated Latrobe. And I think that goes through the Northwest Coast in all sports, which has been the strength of that region. But definitely the basketball side of it, there's a lot of heavy competition, and you represent your town and you put your colours on, and that means a lot to people.
Absolutely. What's your favourite memory of your time up there?
I have probably I got two favourite memories from a coaching standpoint. Was the '97 championship with the Wynyard Wildcats. That was their first, and I got to go back to my old junior club, Burnie, and coach, and we won a championship there, and was the first one for a long time. But it was probably more why I love the game. And Lindsay Houston and Ian Davies was at Burnie when I was a junior, and Ian Davies was my idol. I'm really emotional about talking about Ian. Like, I never ever met him other than when I was a little kid, but he was like an Olympian. When he walked into town with his white socks long and he's doing 360s in the warm-up, we thought this was God to us. And it drove a real lot of development within the club at that time. And Ian Davies is my idol.
Yeah, wow. That's cool, mate. And I guess you talked about some of the players from GC, even like the Armstrongs, even like Taryn playing in that competition, like that. How special is that to see where the breeding ground, I suppose, of what's found to develop?
Definitely. I think the other part of the strength of the clubs is like there's generational, there's families, whether it be the Armstrongs, the McGaffins that I was involved in, the Coxes in Burnie, the Beveridge family that played at Devonport and Penguin, the Gaffneys at Latrobe. Like, everybody has their little bit of history from that standpoint, and I think that's just what makes that club basketball competition just so passionate.
I know you've done a lot over your career, but do you think you'd be where you are now without that competition?
I don't think so. I mean, who knows, to be honest, but I know it drove a lot of passion as a junior, and when the imports come in, that was something very foreign to the Northwest Coast at that time, that drove a lot of development. And they were not unlike the Jack Jumpers. They were in the community, they were doing coaching clinics, they were coaching us as juniors, and they were our idols. And I think that drove a lot of the development through that region at that time.